Hello, and welcome to Shooting the Goo podcast, Comic Art Galore, with your host, Elena Morton. This week's guests are Stephen Michedick, Jack French, and Sam Wollaby. Produced by Basil Pigwood.
Shooting the Goo, Comic Art Galore podcast with your host, Elena Morton. With me, as always, is raw chicken I keep on forgetting to put in the fridge. I just keep it in my pockets. This episode is brought to you by Cork. Cork, the real fifth element. Today, we have 3 people on the podcast. Yes, I know we usually just say 2, but we always end up having another, and it's great. It's fantastic. We got Stephen Michedick, as you know, as Skip Tunes.
You didn't tell me that you were being sponsored by Cork. I refuse to be in the same studio as those hacks.
Dude.
I hate the Cork people.
Dude, they pay lots of money, man.
This podcast's over.
Steven, you watch your mouth.
I cannot stand
You're not
those
a fellow
hacks.
Corkster?
They killed my parent.
Yeah.
I killed your parents.
Oh my gosh, and who's
Hello,
speaking?
you're part
It's
of the
Jack
Cork-
French,
It's
ladies
our
and
friend,
gentlemen.
The
Jack
one and
French.
only.
And we have Sam Woolly Bear.
It's me, Sam Woolly Bear.
So, you two, not Skip Tunes, you guys are second years. It's your second year at the
Yes.
school. First off, congratulations.
Thank you.
Great job. How is it?
Oh, God.
It's great.
so bad.
Endless misery.
Yeah.
I hear it gets harder.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the second half is definitely harder than the first half, but the first half is still really hard.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I'm learning a lot, and I've definitely improved a lot.
They do kind of expect like a lot from you. Like
Yeah.
they
You're like
expect
building
you
a
to know everything.
portfolio. They need you to be at your top.
Well, are there any tips you guys have for putting together a portfolio? Like,
You technically don't have to build a portfolio by the end of the first year, but for Comic-Con the next year, it's definitely helpful because there were plenty of people I know who went around talking to different editors or artists and stuff and showing them their portfolios.
ooh,
And some of them got contacts,
Wow.
people would tell them to keep sending them stuff or something like that.
Yeah.
But
No,
I
this-
mean, I didn't because I'm stupid. All my stuff was trash. But
Same.
no. Okay, let's go back to background in art. So, before you guys came here in first year, you guys were out in the world, either high schoolers or you did some college before that. How old are you guys?
I'm 19.
You're 19.
Yeah, I'm going to be turning 20 in a couple months. Yeah.
But what were you guys doing before you came to the school? Because it sounds like you guys were in high school. Do you guys take art classes there? When did your art journey begin with that?
I mean, I've been drawing ever since I could hold a pencil, but like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the art classes that we had in school really like they were really cruddy.
Yeah.
Really fucking cruddy.
Yeah, I feel that.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. It is cool to be at a legit art school, you know.
Yeah.
I am local, so I actually came here for I think 7 or something years. The Saturday classes, so every Saturday, every month of every year for 7 years, except for a couple
Wow.
of exceptions. I was here drawing.
Wowie zowie. That's
Yeah.
a lot of years.
Thanks for the input.
Yeah.
Oh, fun fact. Skip Tunes is Little Sam, even though he's older than me.
Yeah. Everybody
I'm
calls
the
me
OG
Little
Sam
Sam.
now.
He's the original copy.
What about you, Steve?
Huh?
What did you do
Who
to
cares?
deserve to be here?
Who cares?
I was kind of digging a pit in the mud one day, and I kind of just found myself here.
Oh my gosh, like that scene in Monty
Yeah.
Python and the Holy Grail, just throwing mud.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'd like to actually interrupt really quick. I'd like to
Yeah.
do an ad read for our sponsor, Milk.
Oh god. No.
Do you ever just get thirsty one day? Sometimes you just get really thirsty, and you know what? Water's just not going to cut it.
My Marine friend, he's lactated once.
Sam,
He tried really hard once.
he
Did it.
believed in himself.
Ew.
How did we get on this
Tater
topic?
Because
You
you
were talking
wanted to
about
do the
milk.
milk sponsor.
Oh yeah, the ad read. By the
Yeah.
way, go buy Milk, coming soon to theaters. All right.
Milk.
It's battery
Milk
sold
already came out
separately.
in theaters. Did you see that movie? It was
No.
good.
I think it's on DVD now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
William
Right.
Dafoe was in it.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
He said, "You and me, Spider-Man. Let's drink some milk. I'm gonna squeeze your titty, Spider-Man."
Oh my god, I hate that I'm gonna have to edit
Don't
that
get me
out.
started on that.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Oh dang it. I should have made it.
Well, so that's not. I mean,
could
that's
just say
not
heck 'em
profane because I mean,
What counts as profane? Who
Yeah,
gets to
what is-
Well,
decide
I
what's
think
profane?
you talking about
Squeezing milk out of nipples.
well, I mean Spider-Man's nipples is
And then you said
Why
something
can't
about
Spider-Man
Aunt May.
have nipples?
That's
Elena?
true. Why can't he
Wait,
lactate?
yeah, so
Why is this?
if men can
We're on the
lactate-
right side of
That's just being
history.
sexist.
Spider-Man can
Yeah.
lactate if he wants to.
You guys
That's
can't
right.
lactate in this place. I won't allow it. I'm putting my
This is a
foot down.
lactation-free zone.
No.
What was the
That's why I
question
wear a
again?
black
The question was,
sweatshirt,
what's
so
your
it
background in art, you dingus?
Oh, I started drawing when I was 3. The first thing I remember drawing was, I think a picture of Superman.
Lactating?
doesn't-
No, but he had a mustache like Lando Calrissian for some reason.
What?
So my art background is started drawing when I was like 3, mustache Superman. Then I started
Nice.
drawing like Star Wars things. I guess that's kind of what spurred me into drawing. Ever since then, I guess I've just been taking art class after art class. For as like long as I can remember, I've just been taking art classes. And I think a lot of them helped and a lot of them didn't. But I don't know. I guess it's kind of just a personal journey.
Yeah.
If it makes any sense, like just like you constantly grow with like the things that you do and the experiences that you have. You just look at something and like, hey, I like the way this person drew that, and then you try to mimic that and you make it your own. You know, it's not exactly stealing, but it's along those
I'm pretty
lines.
sure you're.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
a total
I'm a-
swiper.
I'm a swiper.
You're a lactating
I-
swiper.
I steal people's
Lactating.
artwork. What I do is I steal a person's artwork, I print it out in like paper, and then I squeeze my titty milk all over it, and I
It's watermarked, man.
I perform a voodoo hex, and then it becomes mine.
I'm seeking out opportunities in employment, which we kind of covered but we can cover more. I know eventually and probably right now as we speak, we're all getting more broke and more broke as money just.
Away.
I'm pretty sure I already have $0 in my account right now.
I have like, oh god, I'm making money luckily because I have a job here. But
Lucky you.
it only pays $15 a week and it's once a week, so
Oh, damn.
raking in those bills.
Wow.
How are you guys surviving right now? Did you guys make a ton of money before coming?
Dust.
No.
No.
Before coming here, I was a janitor for a school. I was like literally cleaning like shit out of toilets.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
You
But I
didn't
bet
tell
it
me
paid
that.
well.
Well, that's because
For real?
I tried to put that out of my memory.
Oh.
It's horrible.
Oh.
It's horrible.
Dang, that sucks, man. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
I didn't really
Yeah.
do anything, if I'm being completely honest. I mean, I would just.
You've never had a job before?
No, honestly,
Oh.
I would just like, my mom would be like, hey, go mow the lawn, or hey, how about you come, shovel the driveway or walk the dogs or something. I'm like, okay, she would throw me like $1 at me, like
Buy yourself something
throw
nice.
a coin in my
slut.
face. Like, yeah, here, buy a gumball. Yeah, so
Yeah.
Before 2017, I did not have a single job in my life, and then by a year or like September 2017, a year later, I had 4 jobs within a span of a year,
Nice.
just
Damn.
on and off.
You just kept on getting fired?
No,
Fired.
I kept quitting.
Why?
Like, no, I worked at Five Guys. My first job was
Wow,
Five
why
Guys.
would you quit Five Guys?
Because
Dude,
it's awful. I
but
hated it.
burgers.
I know,
And
but
shakes, the peanut butter shake.
So Five Guys was a very interesting place. When I was still going to the Art Institute of Virginia Beach, I worked at a Five Guys that was like a couple miles away from the building. It was pretty nice. I went there because I was like, hey, I like Five Guys food. I could probably get used to like, working there, making the food. Little did I know that the manager who run that particular store, he ran the store like a concentration camp.
God.
So
He's going to hear this and he's going to come and kill you.
I don't care. Screw you, Joe. I hate you.
Don't say Joe. That could sound like something else because this is the Kubert
It's a generic
school.
name. Don't worry.
Okay, not Joe Kubert. Joe
No,
Kubert
not Joe.
was a
Not
saint.
Joe Kubert. I love you, Joe Kubert.
Beautiful
love you, baby.
man. I saw him
He's a
once
terrible
You did?
before I came. Yeah, it was like 2012. It was right before he died.
It was like
And I
was at a
witnessing an
convention.
elder god.
Yeah, it was amazing.
You've only seen him twice?
briefly, yeah.
Really? Oh yeah, because you went
Yeah.
there earlier.
I still
you
don't know
heard
the
that?
difference between like Andy and Adam Kubert. Like I don't know which one's which.
Are you serious?
Well,
Yeah.
Honestly-
Andy moved to California
It's
with his
The
daughter.
one that you keep seeing around is Adam.
Yeah, the one
Okay.
with Paco
It's just-
is Adam.
It's just I never knew, and like it's just been too long for me to ask anybody. So, like,
Don't you
can't.
follow him on Instagram?
I probably
Well,
do. I don't know.
I think I have you guys beat. I managed to get a whiff Not a
Whiff.
Tell us more.
You smell
I managed to catch a peek at Schmendrick Kubert, the man who lives downstairs in the store.
What?
I think you're talking about Justin.
Schmendrick Kubert, the long lost Kubert student who lives in the basement. Not the student, the son of the Kuberts.
They have like 7 sons.
Yeah,
They have like 8 children.
Yeah.
Schmendrick is the last one. He's the runt of the family.
He was born like way too many months early, and he's just like
He lives under the staircase of the mansion and just eats berries.
Yeah, you guys throw him like little bacon bits and like
Yeah.
pizza rolls. And he just his little skeleton
Is that
hands
what
just
the,
take him in.
the pentagram's all about?
Yeah.
That's Medrick's bed.
That's where he sleeps.
Sometimes
man.
you can hear him like skittling in the walls and making little screeching.
That's what that
little
is?
screeching noises. Yeah.
That's why I don't go to the mansion a lot. I've been there like 3
Sometimes when I'm
times.
just sleeping or like sleeping in my room.
Swiping.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Slightly.
Bleh. I'm sorry, tongue tied. Sometimes when I'm just sleeping in my room, I'm just lying there on my bed, and then all of a sudden I feel some pee on my face. I look up at Schmendrick. He's just watching over me, man.
He just
Yeah.
waves with his little like baby hand.
I don't sleep at the mansion super often, but I swore someone was spooning me the last time I was there.
It was Schmendrick.
It was Schmendrick.
Yeah.
That old dog.
Yeah.
See, Schmendrick is different because he was born with green skin and very floppy ears, so they hung down in his shoulders.
Oh my god, he's Yoda?
No,
It's
no.
like Dumbo.
Yeah, he's got like Dumbo
Oh.
ears.
Dumbo.
I
ears.
thought he was gonna be like a gray baby.
A
Like,
gray
you know?
baby?
like with little baby hands, but he's like really tall, but he still has like all the baby features, so he's like a baby head,
He's
little
got very
baby hands,
large,
but
very-
long arms. And
His
he's just,
eyes
like,
are very large and dark because they're accustomed to the darkness.
He's oh
Mansion.
my god,
So
he's
he's like-
nocturnal.
Yeah.
So
Cedric's
he's like
nocturnal.
Yoda mixed with
Gollum.
Golem, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my
technically.
god, yeah. Does he talk? What does he
Wow.
sound like? Oh wait, we have Schmendrick here on the show today. Hi, Schmendrick.
Hello,
It's great to see you, Schmendrick.
it's me, Schmendrick.
Yeah.
Would you like to see my socks?
No, thank you. I would not like to see your socks.
Okay,
I'll
gotcha.
I'll get Adam in here.
Adam,
Smee.
Adam just drags him out.
Schmendrick just ran away.
Wait,
He
is
got
that
scared.
Adam? No,
No.
that's not Adam. That's,
That's
a
Billy
student.
Bob Thornton.
I don't know
It's
Billy
him,
Bob.
the man, the myth, the legend.
Schmendrick.
We have our new guest, Billy Bob Thornton, on the podcast.
Oh my-
Say hi, Billy Bob.
Hello. How's everybody doing?
We're doing
Wow,
good,
Billy Bob, you sound so great.
My name's
Like
Billy Bob.
it's like it's almost like he's not dead anymore.
Wait,
Like
did Billy
how
Bob
did you
die?
come back from the grave?
Oh, I gave Satan all my speckles. Send me back up.
Schmeckles? What can you elaborate further?
It's currency.
Speaking of which, our sponsor, Milk. No,
Okay.
we're not
By
gonna.
the way, I just like to say sometimes when you just get really thirsty and you know what, soda just won't cut it, and water won't cut it either. So you know what you
You
do?
just gotta lactate.
Yeah, you just take that soda bottle, you throw it all on some poor innocent child, and you fill the bottle up with your delicious man milk.
Don't say
Why'd
man
you-
milk
why-
on my
yeah.
show. Never say
First
man.
of all, why man milk? Why does there have to be a child?
That's the brand.
Okay, final thing after
The final
because
thing.
you talked about
I'm sorry.
what
Man
was
milk.
man milk
Yes,
again.
Steve.
How did-
That wasn't my topic. That wasn't my topic.
Sure, yeah, right.
That wasn't my topic.
What was your topic?
What's your topic?
Huh?
Yeah, what's your topic? Because
Yeah,
mine was
What's
just
your
We're
question?
waiting.
What was yours? I wanna
Today,
hear
please.
yours.
mine was tips for surviving art school, but we can't really comment on that because we're still in the first year, and that would be just those two. But if this
Oh,
could be,
God.
No, please, ladies.
I mean, I'm barely surviving.
I don't know if
It's like a
surviving's the
war
word.
with myself. I feel like I'm fighting a battle every day. Like, it's
Yeah.
just.
Should I buy this
Every-
Chinese food or should I not? You know,
and then you
Yeah.
do, and then you hate
Yeah,
yourself.
And
no,
then
like-
you just sink lower.
I'm a
every day.
disgusting
You
piece
just-
of shit.
I feel like my life is just on a down slope, just a constant down slope. Clearly, I'm trying to turn people on to the idea of coming here.
Yeah,
but I
people will love to
I mean,
hear.
people-
Oh, you know what I've been craving? A downward slope.
Oh no! I mean, I've been on a downward slope for years. Yeah, no, it's just a lot of all-nighters.
You just turned 5, and you're like,
Yeah,
I'm done.
you really just gotta
If you
get
can
your
make,
work done. Don't be like me and Sam. No offense,
No,
Sam.
don't be like
yeah, don't
me.
be like us. Get your work. Be like Zach or.
Don't be like that.
I mean, don't be like.
Don't be like
All right, okay, that came out wrong. Don't be like Zach
be
the
like that.
person. Be like Zach the artist, where you
Mhm.
work all the time, really
Yeah.
hard. And
He's gonna be on the podcast next
Is he?
week.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Can I
With his
spectate? I
crew.
don't have to be on it, but I just want to watch him.
Yeah, you
say
can watch.
it.
I'm gonna
He'd be
have-
stupid.
It's the main people from the Voyages crew because
Oh,
he's coming out with a
okay.
comic, Voyages, for podcast listeners. Keep an eye out for it. Toxic Bull Comics. It's going to be dope. I'm
Sam
super
While
excited.
we're
Wolver.
doing
Yeah,
ad
Sam
reads, I like to
Wolver.
plug an ad
Yeah.
for milk.
Yeah. Oh
Sometimes
my
it's-
god!
Shut up. No, I'm cutting you off. I'm cutting you off. All right.
How would you honestly react if you saw a 3-inch tall man run across the floor from underneath a chair?
I think that sounds pretty scary. Actually,
Shoot
that
him.
Sounds pretty.
I'm just kidding.
Shoot him.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of options here. I mean,
Punt him like a football.
I feel like I'm gonna need like a more detailed scenario. Like
Okay. A tiny bearded man that looks oddly like Kim DeMolder runs up to you. He hands you a tiny penny, which is like the size of his chest. He hands you the
Wait,
penny.
so wait, how?
Wait, how small?
A 3-inch tall penny, or a 3-inch tall man. So he's
Wait,
handing
so
you
he's
oh, so
like
he's
it's
only,
around the size of his chest, like just above.
okay,
his
yeah, and he
chest.
looks like
He
Okay,
holds it
so-
above his head. He says,
so
"I'll
he's
give you
like
this
this
penny
big?
if you follow me."
I'll follow him,
I'd
dude. It's a
absolutely-
magical
Kim
experience.
DeMolder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you guys like to plug yourselves quickly? Instagram, Twitter, Twitch.
Oh, my Instagram is Sam Woolly Bear, and there's a little like what? It's not a hyphen. What is like underscore
Underscore, yeah.
between Sam and Woolly Bear.
Mine is jackfrench.art at Instagram.
Follow me at skiptunes at Instagram.com.
Thank you so much for being on, guys.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, wait, we
It was
gotta
fun.
end it with a little
Oh, please
ditty.
subscribe to T Series.
That's my noise.
You so gross.
Did you see the snake fly from my net?